So, I want to talk today about artistic doubt. I think it is unfortunately inevitable, no matter what kind of artist you are, musician, visual artist, poet, dancer, I don't even care. Whatever kind of artist you are, I think it is an inevitable thing that you deal with. And this topic came to my mind this week because I dealt with my own little batch of artistic doubt. And for my channel, I really value things like being real with you guys and being authentic. And I also want this channel to be a place for budding musicians, but then also just any kind of artist to find advice for their artistic practice and their careers. And this is some stuff I wish that I would have heard earlier on. And I want my channel to have content like that, if you're just starting any career, things that would be helpful as you're growing. So yeah, okay. So what happened, right? I have been a full-time musician now for, I think I'm getting close to 3 years. And I've been singing my whole life. My mom jokes that I've been singing since I could talk, and she's really not wrong. I've been in choir since like second grade. I went to college for music. So, I feel really confident with my music skills, with my voice and my style, and I feel good. And in general, I'm a pretty positive person, but that doesn't prevent you from feeling doubt. And so I had a gig this last Saturday that I was needing to have more gigs in my schedule because I'm in my slow season. So for financial reasons, being a full-time musician, I needed that extra income. So I took a gig that was at a lower rate than what I normally play for. So that alone was hard to, want to swallow. And then, so I went to the gig. When it started, the crowd was great. They clapped. They were so supportive. This was my first time at a new venue. It was a good night. There was some tips and good feedback. And then once that first group that was there left, because it's a dinner or a restaurant, so people come in and out, right? Once that first group left and the new group came in, there wasn't applause anymore. And sometimes that happens, that happens often at places because people are there for hanging out with their friends and family. They've come for dinner, and your background music a lot of times, and that's just the nature of it. It's not always fun to be background music, but that is just how it is, and that's fine. But there's times when you're the background music, and there's times when you feel like you don't even exist in the room. And this was one of the don't exist feeling times. So after that first group left, people stopped clapping, and it wasn't even like they're not clapping. It was like people weren't even really looking over at me very much, no matter what song I sang. Because then you start to think to yourself, well, maybe they don't like this song. Maybe I should try this song. But it feels like no matter what you do, you just like, at least you try to get blood from a turnip. Is that the phrase? You know what I mean? Just like, you can't get them to pay any attention, no matter what you sing, no matter how loud you sing, how, not loud, but how passionately you sing. You know what I mean? Like it's just useless. And so I got to and I'm doing the same thing I always do. I'm singing the same way I always do, the same performance that an hour ago people loved. It's so frustrating. I played an original. Nobody cared. I got to the end of the set, and I did my normal thing where I said, I got one more song, and then I'll be, this was my last one for the evening. Thank you guys so much. If you like the music, blah, 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 blah. Nobody clapped, cared, seemed like they even heard me. I played the last song, which is Chicken Fried from Zac Brown Band, which people love that song. Nobody cared. And when it ended, nobody clapped. Nobody. And there's been times like that, and it is brutal, honestly, because I've had thoughts up there on stage, I just want to, not that I would, but you have this thought, if I yelled into the mic right now, would people even look over? It just feels like you're not in the room. And I think there's a difference from feeling like your background music to feeling like you don't, like almost like you don't exist. It's hard. And so that's the kind of night I had. So lower paycheck than I wanted, feeling like I didn't matter, feeling like my originals, nobody cared, So I'm on the way home, and the more I'm driving and the more I'm getting in my head about it, the more I'm like, ugh. And I get home and my boyfriend, is asking me how it went and stuff, and I'm starting to vent to him just about how I'm feeling, and I start crying because it was just kind of like a snowball effect of feeling like different areas of my career and artistic pursuits just aren't progressing. That's how I felt. I've been doing a challenge on YouTube. As I'm sure you guys are aware, that I started in September, so I think that's 5 months. I've been writing and posting an original each month as a challenge to myself. And I've been posting regularly on YouTube, at least once a week, sometimes twice. So it's usually about 6 to 8 videos a month I'm posting, including that original song. And there's been definite growth on YouTube. I think I started with about 900 subscribers, and now I'm at like 1100 or 1150, 1150, So it's about 250 more subscribers, where I started, that's a lot of growth. And I see on the trends that it is continuously growing. But the last week or so, my growth kind of stalled out. And I feel like my video quality is improving, but it's not showing in the statistics of the subscribers and the views and all that. So that got in my head, you know what I mean? And you put so much time and effort into these videos and into your art and your work that you want it to succeed. And then you start to compare yourself to other people you see who have, 50,000 followers or 35,000 followers. Say they do vlogs and their vlogs have thousands of views or hundreds of views in the first hour, and you go, I'm making a vlog, why is mine any different? Why am I not getting that traction? And the comparison starts to creep in. Yeah, and then I'm a full-time musician, so right now I'm trying to book, and I've talked about that in my most recent blog, that it's a little slow right now. I have some businesses that aren't getting back to me, so I'm sending emails and I'm not hearing anything, and I am continuously booking, but it's feeling stressful for me because I'm worried about booking to the capacity that I did in the previous year, so I have the same income I did last year. And then I also have this frustration of, like, it's my 3rd year. I should be growing. My income should be growing each year. That's what my mind says, right? So all of that just rolling around up in your brain. Just, ugh. And I talked it all out, and it was nice to have somebody listen. And this is stuff that you don't normally say out loud to people. You say it to yourself, and it kind of is in like a negative feedback loop sometimes. So it was good to get it out. And he said to me, slow growth is still growth, and slow growth is fine. And I was like, yeah. And it's hard to hear in the moment, because in the moment you're like, everything's wrong, and but he's like, slow growth is growth. And so we talked a little more. I felt better by the time I went to bed. It was a late gig, so I had a little bit of food and went to bed. Woke up the next day. Was I 100% cured? No. Let's be real, no. But I heard a quote a while back, and I can't remember the source, so if I'm quoting you, if you know where this quote came from, please tell me. But I just don't remember. But essentially, it is something along the lines of, if the only way you will fail is if you quit. And that advice to me is really good advice, because if you quit on something that you care about, something that inspires you or means something to you, or goals you have, you will fail, because you quit. You made the game end. But if you keep going, you may grow slowly. It may not grow at all, but you haven't failed because you're still going. And no matter what, if you keep at something, you will learn and you will get better and you will grow. And so after that moment of more intense doubt, having some time to sleep on it, having a good chat with a loved one, you know what? It's like my YouTube is growing. And I want to say this too. I don't want you guys to think that I am ungrateful for any of you watching this or any of the subscribes. I so appreciate it. I really, really do. I love that you're here and I love that you're supporting. So it's not that at all. I just have these big lofty goals. I'm a big dreamer and I just want it to blow up and grow. You know, I want to make some monetization money. I want more people to hear my original work. I just want it to grow. But when I look at the big picture, right? I have grown. I've written lots of songs. Up until September, I would songwrite now and then, and I wouldn't share anything. And now I'm writing a song, at least one, sometimes 2 or 3 every month, and I'm sharing songs. I got a freaking song on Spotify now. What? And I have grown by 250 subscribers here on YouTube, which is nothing to scoff at. There's some of you guys in the comments that I look forward to your comments, and you know, I feel like we're building a little bit of a community now, at least a small one, but it's growing, and I love hearing what you guys think. And you know, and I feel like my music is being seen and is making an impact, be it a small one, but that's how you start, right? My bookings are increasing. You know, I still went out and played a gig and did my thing and made money and made a new connection with a new venue. You know, some people heard me, saw my name. Like, growth is happening. I'm getting better on camera and making videos. Like, growth is happening, but it happens so slowly sometimes that you lose sight of it. You reach a new goal and you look back and you say, well, I reached that goal, I need to get another goal, and you just don't think to see where you came from. So yeah, here's my advice to other artists, is if you're having a moment of doubt, which if you haven't already, you will, it is just inevitable, and if you don't, then that's really rare. My advice would be first to find someone who supports you, a loved one, family or friends, or even like a YouTuber, or not, I mean like a follower who's supportive. Even if you don't have someone you can actually talk to, go through your past comments and look for the ones that touched your heart in some way and reread those and really believe them and take it in. After that, I would say as much as you can, because it depends on if you're relying on this for your income, but to whatever degree you're able to, I would take a little bit of a step back, or take the pressure off. Sometimes we can create these own success prisons around ourselves, that we have these goals that we want to achieve, and then we lose sight of the fun, we lose sight of the creativity, of the joy. We add all this pressure, so then it's like all about the numbers and all about the sales or whatever, and you know, it doesn't have to be. So take the pressure off. For myself on this particular step, I realized I was checking YouTube Studio way too often, which is like the analytics side if you're not a YouTuber. I had the app on the front page of my phone, and I would check it, I don't even know how many times a day, because I decided after that feeling of doubt, I was like, you know what, I'm only going to check it 1 to 2 times a day. And then I noticed myself, I would click into it just mindlessly, like, and then I would just X out when I realized I did it, but like I would just click into it. So it become a habit, like an uncontrollable habit. I'm getting a handle on it now. I also moved the app to a different screen, so I don't see it all the time. But it's like, just lower the stakes. Or take some time away. Yeah, and I would say also, if you can find something else in your life that brings you joy that isn't related to your artistic endeavor, you know. Maybe give that a little more time and let yourself play and heal and explore in that aspect a little more. Maybe up that, because I think what you're probably needing is a little bit of perspective and confidence and lower stakes. Yeah. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I hope this brought some kind of value to you as other fellow artists. I hope you're doing well. If you are feeling that artistic doubt, it is perfectly normal. It is common. It happens and it will pass. And every day you wake up and you work on your art to whatever degree you work on it, you are growing. And a year from now, you will look back, a month from now, you will look back and you will see that growth and you'll be so proud of yourself that you didn't quit. If whatever your artistic goal is or passion, if it's something that matters to you, if it's something that fills you up, that inspires you, then don't quit. If it doesn't serve you anymore, that's a different story. But if it is something that is good for you and that you love, don't quit, because that is how you fail. That is the only way you fail. And as long as you keep showing up and you keep trying and you keep creating, you will do great things. So thank you guys for listening. If you liked this video, as always, hit like, comment down in the comments if you struggle with artistic doubt, any tips you have. I'd love to hear some tips for myself and for the other people in the community. Hit that subscribe button. I post lots of videos on here of covers and originals and some videos like this and some vlogs, all kinds of stuff. And yeah, just hit me up in the comments. I would love to hear from you guys. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. And thank you so much for watching. All right, have a good day.